be really exciting this way. You get everybody involved. And the topic for today's training is, as Mr. Gay has already enlightened to us, is how to speak like a statesman. So why do we have this training session? As Mr. Gay has also shared, because we encounter a lot of contentious issues every day. And it's okay, every one of us, we have strong opinions and we are entitled to our own opinions. But I think it's important how we express it, right? So expressing our opinions, if it's not done properly, I'm going to end up with misunderstanding, arousing suspicions, voice, reducing trust, or even generating animosities, right? Now, if we express our opinion clearly and we do it well, then it helps everyone to understand it better. It reduces tension, fosters goodwill, and build consensus, and you become someone that people would like to listen to, always being very eager to listen to. So tonight, we are very honored to have this session to be presented by Valen Tan. Valen is a quantity surveyor. Okay, she has only recently started her journey as in public speaking, but she's accelerating her pace growth by doing two things at the same time: learning and sharing. Okay, so for this whole session, it's going to be 40 minutes. The green card, we can flash it at 30 minutes, and then the yellow card at 35, and of course the red card at 40 minutes. So, without much ado, let's put our hands together and welcome Valen.
One, I will introduce what is the speech structure, and second, I should introduce some topics. Third, I will invite some of you to talk on the topics. Okay. First, I will show you an example of how to use the speech structure. The example of today is we want casinos in Singapore. So, for the part one, we will summarize the views of the opposition. For example, like when many people oppose having casino in Singapore, what's the reason, such as gambling addiction, loss of money, financial disaster, and depression, suicide. Next, we will move to the part two, which we will summarize the views from the opposition. But there's a transition that we will highlight that the part one is the valid concerns, and why don't we agree of the consequences of who will not agree that we do not want such consequences for Singapore. So in part two, we will highlight the merits of having a casino in Singapore, such as bringing huge benefits, investment, and then jobs will be created for the construction, casino, and the tourism. And then we will move to the part three to tell people there how to move forward by having the casino, such as imposing the levy and having the restriction order by the families of the staff. So let us look at the topics of today.
I still remember when I was younger, because my family is somewhat Taoism and somewhat Buddhism. So sometimes at a particular month, then we will have some ceremony to burn incense papers. Yeah, I still remember when I was younger, I used to ask my parents, why are we doing this? Of course, back then my expression was much more innocent. Why do we do this? I still remember my father and my mother would say, don't ask so much. Okay, so sometimes because of that, and through experiences, okay, I learned that, hey, it feels like as if I'm being programmed to silence, you know, to keep quiet. When we felt that there's something we need to raise up, okay, to raise our views, our friends will tell us that, no, don't talk about it, you know, or I wish to ask something, please don't ask this something. But is that always true? Is silence really always golden? Sometimes we also need to, on the other hand, we also need to raise our views too, to let people know what we think. If constantly we are in silence, we do not, we have a view we don't let other people know, nobody will know how we feel. And nobody will, and probably, maybe our views may be of a value add, okay, to another person, to give him a different perspective, okay, of the whole situation. So because of this, I felt that, true, sometimes silence is golden, but sometimes we also need to raise our opinion. If I can sum it up, sometimes we pick our battles. Yeah, okay. So this is my view.
Fabulous evening, President. Yeah, Trump is mad to some people. Trump is also a genius. So it's up to you. Which side are you on? Let me see. Who thinks Trump is a mad?
Mad.
Mad. Okay, double mad. Who thinks Trump is genius?
Mad genius.
Mad and genius. Look at him. Maybe it's also all of us. And sometimes, maybe we are crazy, maybe we are mad, and sometimes we are genius. The only thing is whether we can be aware and conscious when we go crazy at times, or when we are genius. Okay. One thing people could say, he's mad, because he's not politically correct. And he's not a politician. He didn't follow his order. He's a Republican, and he beat them, and he won. And genius to a point, because if you don't like him, you're not interested in him. You don't look at him. But one thing that's intriguing is that at one point in time, all of us, from you to everyone in the room, you are richer than Trump. That's why that one winter night, cold, you can look at the beggar and say the beggar is richer than you. You know? And all these things you can Google, don't listen to me, check out, and you're like, why? He was down. He's not a bankrupt, he's not zero. And why I say at one point in time, you are richer than him. He's minus 900 million. And you can turn it around. And that is also understand what's the difference, what's the genius. And this, I hope you all can see and appreciate and learn. And this is the thing that you can see, what's the difference? What's the difference between him and a beggar and him and you? And the difference is that you have a brain, he has a brain, also contact. One thing, take note, that's why we are here. You do not know who are the millionaires around you. The networking. Maybe he got bright. And who he mixed with. If I got a friend here who got 1 million and Richard who got 10 million, he trusts me and he know I'll take care of you. You got 10 million right now. That's the reason why it's important that we can learn and be smart from it. So, be a genius. Or, if you can't be a genius, be mad.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Amy, and I would like to thank you all for giving this opportunity of me standing here and for listening to me today. And thank you. How many of you think that life is fair? Thank you. How many of you do not? Thank you. So we all have different opinions about life. Whether is it fair or whether is it not. To me, in my opinion, life is fair. I would say life is fair because of how we live our life. How do we live our day-to-day life? What are the things that will make our decisions? What are the thoughts that we think? Do we think empowering thoughts or disempowering thoughts? What do we feel? Do you feel happy or do you feel unhappy, irregardless of what you have? Either you have owned a material things, a big house, properties, a lot of cars. Do you think you will still be happy?
Yes.
Thank you. Some of you, most of you, said yes. And some said no. So how do you think that those material things can really bring you happiness? We achieve and we pursue things because you think that your properties, your cars, your branded bags, your clothes can bring you happiness.
Yes.
But that is the end result. You are achieving this. You are pursuing this because this is the end result that you want.
Yes.
But at the end result, we can actually be happy even without these material things.
Yes.
We can feel happy if we have our families, your parents, your children, your friends. For me, that is what brings me happiness. It brings me fulfillment. How do you feel happy even without the material things that you have? If everything was taken away from you, would you still be happy? So this comes into what is really important to you. Is it your family, career, business? What are the decisions that we are making? If we are able to direct ourselves and focus ourselves of making ourselves happy, I think without even those material things, we can enjoy life with our family, with our environment that God has given to us, and we can enjoy ourselves and end up being happy without it. Thank you.
How many in this room believe Israeli is right?
Yes.
Right. How many believe the Palestinians are right? Okay, you go outside and find out. Of course, the Israel is right. Why are they right? Because they are recognized by United Nations. Right? After World War II, the victors got together and draw a line in the sand. This part, Israel, homeland of the Jews. This part belongs to the Arabs. And because United Nations recognize that line, that divide, the line in the sand, therefore they are right. But are they really right? For centuries, the Palestinian has been living there. It has been their homeland. Can you just a few guys come together on a piece of paper, draw a line and say, this one belongs to the Jews and therefore it belongs to the Jews? Cannot. But why do the Jews insist that it is their land? Because it goes back 2,000 over years ago when Moses led his people out of Israel. And Lord tell him, this is the promised land, go there, right? So after suffering, 40 days and 40 nights, how many nights in the desert and everything, finally they arrived. Therefore it belongs to them. So the real question is, and this applies to even the Spratly Island where there's dispute with China and all the rest, the real question, ask yourself, when did time begin? To the Jews, the time began 2,000 over years ago when God gave them the land. And the great exodus started all the way from Egypt then. Time started then. But to the Jews, time started more recently when they occupied the land. They have been staying there for many years. The same problem in Malaysia when the Malays claimed that the land belonged to them. To them, the land started, the time started when they were the sultans. Time didn't start when other people, Indians, came to stay in Malaysia. The time not counted. Same in Singapore, same in Spratly Island. When did time begin? If you can answer that question, then you know who is right and who is wrong. Right? Otherwise, like in the Chinese movie, you go and fight and kill this guy. You are right because his father killed your grandfather. But why? Your grandfather killed his great-grandfather because the great-grandfather killed your great-great-grandfather. So when did time begin? Who is right? That is a question. Thank you.
Let me have a show of hand. Any of you ever have a friend who is gay or a lesbian?
That is one of them.
So for you who have this personal experience, you will know that they're actually very nice people.
Yes.
You know, something happened to them. I can speak because I had spent many years with them. Back when I was younger. Because I had a girlfriend who is actually bisexual. I can't believe it. She can like men and she can like women. And she used to take me to this gay bar. I've been there for like 2 years. Every Friday we go there to drink. There I meet lesbians. There I meet gay men. I have to be very careful when I go to the toilet because they keep touching my bottom. But when you get to know them, they are actually very nice people. But somehow I feel that there's a chemical imbalance in them. Because you find that even among the gay, there are male type of gay and then more female type of gay. So to treat them like a criminal, I think that's wrong. Because they can't help it. They really cannot help it. They are, like what you say, born this way. You could have relatives or friends who are like that. It's not that they want to be like that. Some are really on the extreme side where they will change sex. And there are others who are just in between. But either way, we must treat them like humans. We must still love them and accept them and not treat them like criminals. Thank you.
Okay, good evening to everyone, and thank you to Bang Peng and the group, Fernando and MC, for giving me a chance to share something here. Now, the topic today is about death penalty. Is it good or is it evil? How many of you think that killing someone is evil? Killing someone is evil. Okay. Killing someone is not evil. Good. Not killing people are good. Okay. So they are two-sided. Okay. So now the fact here is that death penalty is from some state like what Bang Peng said. The father killed the grandfather. The grandfather killed another grandfather. The killing will continue go on if there is no death penalty being imposed. Now, when death penalty is being imposed, it meaning taking away your life. Yeah. If your life is taken away, you're left with nothing. So it's a very kind of severe kind of penalty that you need to think twice before you do something. So I feel that the death penalty is something important that can restrict a human being from doing something that's really bad to another human being. Okay? So on the other hand, some people feel that it's evil. Yeah? Because you should give people a chance. True? Should we give people a chance? If, for example, Fernando first time go and rape a man, will he be giving a death penalty? Yeah. It will be very bad. Because let's say he did something to Thomas. Okay, so end of the day, the argument will keep on going on. So anyway, it's a kind of state law for the things to be done. There is right, there is wrong. It's depending on how you practice it. Yeah, and more importantly, you need to have a backup plan. Okay, maybe Dr. Tang can come along or Fernando can come along to see whether Fernando should be death penalty or not. Okay, so there should be a backup plan. Okay, the death penalty is a good way to control, but you need a backup plan to see whether that one is it a fair way to penalize and to kill a person. Okay, so thank you very much.
If money can buy happiness, it could be like a coin. You flip front and back. It's yes or no, right? So today, who don't want to achieve happiness in life? Of the single, who is in the single mood now? Today only, right? So you also want to find happiness in terms of a lot of things for the kind of like happiness in terms like lover, money again, and happiness again. It consists everything. True? And in fact, to us, when we carry on to career, who is happy with the career? It's only two gentlemen. The rest is so-so. So why? What do you mean by so-so? Happiness doesn't mean that you achieve everything in just like that. It's actually consider everything in your life. 8 balances. What do you mean by 8 balances? It could be financial freedom. Happiness in terms like what? Married, get a beautiful wife, or beautiful man, or handsome man. Okay. And what else? Porsche. Luxury life. Like ladies, maybe 5C, 4C, or whatever C that you mentioned. A lot of things that can be considered. And then what else?
Make you nicer.
Correct. Beauty and confidence. You're right. The beauty and confidence. When we go out, we have to be confident in our life in terms of everything, regardless man or woman. Am I right?
Yeah. Right.
Yes. We don't want to be the so-so. If the so-so, you will achieve so-so result. So we want to be super. Wow, that's nice. So that's happiness. And what happiness that we want to achieve? A lot of things. For men, money again. Happiness in terms of achieve.
Money.
That is what else?
Many lovers.
Many lovers. Yeah, go back to the what we have achieved. So today, let's achieve happiness by giving.
Wow.
Giving is
More happy.
more happy. Always treat others the way we want to be treated. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Okay, good evening everyone. My name is CK. I'm very happy to be here because I get to practice my speech. I have the freedom to practice my speech here. And I'm sure just now every one of you, when you come here, you can see that everyone has expressed their freedom of speech as well. Well, our opposition says we have no freedom of speech. Or not just that, the Americans especially also say that Singapore actually restricts freedom of speech. So, do we have too much freedom or too little freedom? No freedom. Then that's a good point. No freedom, that is totally no way to exercise our freedom at all. But in which area? Financial freedom? Physical freedom? There's many levels of freedom. So what are we talking about? Freedom always comes with power, or power comes with freedom. For example, when we are born, do we have any freedom? We cry, we wet in our napkins, and our mother or father put in the naito into our mouth, right? We just cry. As we grow older, our physical freedom involved, right? We are able, we achieve our dreams. But for the handicapped, no. They have struggled more. But do they have freedom? Yes and no. Some will just remain as a handicap because they see themselves as a handicap. Some will evolve, even become stronger, and they achieve more than what an able person can do. So I would say freedom, too much, too little, depends on yourself. How you empower yourself to achieve that freedom. But again, freedom is bounded by time. I have freedom to come here to give a speech. I don't have the freedom now or the time to do my work, which I'm piling up for tomorrow because because I made this choice. So there are very many aspects to freedom. When you consider freedom, when you don't have enough freedom, you better think, you know, are you considering, are you doing the right things? When you have too much freedom, be aware. Don't abuse them because they will leave you very soon. The first freedom that we might have, personally I think, is health. That's why we're able to do here. That's why you are able to speak. Right? For a handicap who is mute, he can't speak, he can't hear. So that's normal for him. So take care of yourself. Have a good rest tonight, you know, be on my health.